Notts County Talk, we are live, episode 138 of the Pavis Perspective. Joined by George, who, if anyone watched, let us know. On Tuesday night, we were sat together for a good nearly 2.5 hours, weren't we, George, with the watch along for Barrow?
I'm watching it on my phone here. Yeah, it was brutal, wasn't it? 2 hours together.
What was worse, 2 hours spent talking to me or the performance?
Probably that's hard, actually. What would you say?
I'd say, it's not difficult for me. I mean, we played really poorly, but I'd rather watch that twice than speak to you again for 2 hours, 15 minutes. I'm really honest.
No, you know what? You're right.
And here we are back again, hey? Right, there we go. Plenty of you again joined this evening. We saw some familiar faces in the chat. Royston says Tuesday was good. Hopefully you mean the stream rather than the performance, Royston. It wasn't a fantastic one. We've got a player anagram tonight, which is Madrid Wheat. I expect people to get that one very, very quickly, if I'm honest. As always, we are powered by Better Bytes Computers, a Notts fan-run computer shop in Mapley, Nottingham. Use code Pavis Perspective for discounts on either refurbished computers or computer repairs. Absolutely brilliant company. Kev, who runs it, massive Notts fan. So big shout out to him. We don't have a Harrogate fan. I'm not going to beat around the bush here, George. So, I mean, should we just leave it?
So, yeah,
let's just leave it.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't, if I'm being completely honest, like Wimbledon last week, we got a Barrow fan instead. Wimbledon fans were really looking to come on the show, and they just had stuff that got in the way. There wasn't a sniff of a Harrogate fan.
I'm not convinced by the Wimbledon fans, actually.
Why not?
Because I messaged one and he said, I can't make it. I can't make it tonight. I'm pegging some washing out. And I says, what, in the dark? And he says, yeah.
What, for the whole hour's show?
For the whole hour's show.
Do you know what? I believe you as well. I believe you, because I take what you say at face value.
Thanks.
Some of them were, the other Wimbledon fans just saying they were like out for food or had family around, so the normal stuff. I don't know who you got in contact with, but shocker. Let's see who we got this evening then. Helen, who's a channel member, thank you so much. Martin, who's also a channel member. Helen says, hello, good week, 4 points. Martin says, evening all. Happiness is just over a quarter of the way through the season. We're sitting third place in the table. Ian, even happy with 4 points with bench week on Tuesday. We'll definitely chat about that. Ian, we've got Stephen, Len, Bob, Big Meech, who was with us all of Tuesday's show. Chris, Ken, Adam. Who else have we got? Jason says, evening lads, first time watching live. Appreciate it, Jason. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, plenty of conversation to have this evening, so we will get straight into it. John says the watch along was great according to my dad. Appreciate the feedback I've had. It's good, isn't it, George? It was good.
Yeah. Very positive.
Yeah, it was positive. Really actually enjoyed doing that. So let's go with, and we've never done this, but what was the poll question, George?
What was the poll question, Tom? It's a good question. Are you happy with not start to the season? Yes, in the middle, or no?
How many votes?
How
many votes do we have? What's the choice off there?
Bean.
Sorry, say again. People at the
back. No, I'm joking. What were you going to say?
Well, how many people have voted for a start?
77.
Okay, let's do something we've not done. Because I've been thinking about this today. Let's start with the poll question.
You've lost your mind.
I've lost. Honestly, I have.
Not even 5 minutes in. You've lost your mind.
Yeah, but we can go back to it at the end. So, because obviously more people can vote. So, what's it looking like in terms of votes?
It's a landslide. 1% say no. In the middle, 26%. 73% say yes.
Are you the 1%?
I'm not the 1%, no.
What are you? I know.
Yeah, I clicked yes, and then I went to click in the middle, but it's too late.
I'm a 100% yes.
Tom did peak early in life.
Yeah. I mean, Ian says that I peaked early. I was 6 foot by the time I was in, I think it was year 1. So, make of that what you will. I don't know, and I don't know who said no. I don't know. Maybe a Harrogate fan, the only Harrogate fan that there is. I don't know how you can't be happy with the start to the season. I get performances aren't there, but I don't know how you can't be happy.
I think there's a lot of frustration there, though. In my opinion, like the performance, like you said, against Swindon. Obviously, I wasn't there, so you could give a more accurate detail of that. Obviously, we watched Barrow, and you said that was the worst performance. But then you go back to Gillingham and Port Vale. I hate to keep going back because I feel like I repeat myself a lot on these. But they were games where we performed and didn't get a result. And then we go out against teams like Swindon and Barrow. And we pick up 3 points against Swindon when we're not performing as well. And then we draw against Barrow, where we weren't really in the game that much, I don't think. I think, things are tinkered, weren't they, after half an hour and change, and we got into the game a little bit more. But I wouldn't say, I think the value of the game, you'd give it to Barrow, wouldn't you? So yeah. I there's just, it's difficult to sort of see that correlation, isn't it, between a team that performs well and doesn't score and loses 1-0 at home, and then a team that's not performing well and sort of sneaks a win and a draw away from home.
Yeah, I am just happy with the start to the season. I look forward to going to the games, and I've already said on the channel last season, I just, once we got to sort of like March, it was like great to go see your mates, but the games were shocking. We quickly realised we couldn't really get anywhere in the league. But if we're playing like this and weren't picking up results, of course I wouldn't be happy. But we are picking up results. So whilst we're picking up results and whilst we're third, I can't not be happy with the start. We could have been battered in every single game this season and still be third, and I'd still say I'm happy with the start of the season. Because I can't use the analogy that the only way is up, because it's not. Because we could still carry on playing like this and lose games. But realistically, with the players we've got, performances can only really improve. Like Tuesday, how do you get much worse than Tuesday's first half, especially? Other than them scoring more goals, which they should have done, you can't get worse. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think, do you know what? Alex Bass is just something else, isn't he? He saved us. I think Wimbledon as well, he saved us, really. I know people were saying that he didn't really face any difficult shots, but there were still 7 shots on target. He made plenty of saves that game, didn't he? So he was the difference. And I think against Barrow, again, he was very good. So I think without him between the sticks, we'd be nowhere near where we are now.
Yeah. How many points would you say he's worth a season? If his performances continue, how many points is he worth per season, would you say?
Oh, mate, it's hard to put a number on. It is really hard to put a number on. Really hard to put a number on. I'd say it's like,
I'd say it's 10 points a season.
I'd say more. I'd say a lot more.
Really?
You think already, right? Wimbledon, like, I'm not saying we should have lost. You won as Carlisle, there you go. I say we won as Wimbledon. That's, even if we would draw that, that's 5 points already.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And we're only a quarter way into the season.
I think the way you put it, I think he's probably worth 10 to 15 points a season.
I'm saying around 20.
Which is madness.
Insane, yeah.
And you compare that to last season, I think our goalkeepers, not just our goalkeepers, I'm not going to turn a blind eye to defence, but I think just goalkeepers lost us 10. I think. Because I think back to games, he was sold short in the opening game of this season, but Aidan Stone got a red card. Game was done. Completely done from them. We were 1-0 down already. I think Colchester, ridiculous 5-4 game at their place, but he passes the ball straight to them. So I don't know. I think that there's like you're looking at possibly a 30-point swing. Do you know what I mean? Not in terms of numbers on the board because you don't have numbers on the board from lost points, but you could be looking at something in that region.
Yeah,
Look at some of the comments. Let's have this one that's not really football related. Callum says, "I'm here, do not fear. Only fear the League Two refs." True. Tom and George going to dress up for Halloween. I reckon Mr. and Mrs. Magpie. When is Halloween? Is it next Thursday?
Thursday, yeah.
Oh my goodness, we're going to be live.
Oh my god, Halloween special.
Right, what are you dressing up as?
Oh damn.
Former Notts player, who are you dressing up as? You have to pick a former Notts player.
You're not going to be able to do next week's episode.
Why, are we trick or treating?
Yeah.
I go out early, I go like 2:00-ish.
Fair enough, that's fair enough then, isn't it?
Because I don't like the dark.
That's true.
If I'm dressing up as a former Notts player or current Notts player,
that's a good one.
For Halloween, who would I most like to dress up as? I think.
I know mine is actually off the bat straight away. Casper Sloth.
Yeah, but if you go out trick or treating as Casper Sloth, you're going to scare the life out of children.
I literally knock on the door, yeah, and I'll say trick or treat, and then they'll turn around to get the bowl, and they'll turn around to the door, and I'll be gone.
True. What about this?
There you go, yeah, Casper the Ghost.
Yeah, Will says Callum goes Chickson. Ooh, Chris says if it wasn't Notch related, dress up as a chip and George as a pot of beans. I don't know who I'd go for. It's a tough one. I'd probably say current squad. I'd go Curtis Edwards. I think current squad. I think it'd be good. Just similar. It looks similar. I think. And if it was to be past squad, I'd just do Michael Doyle, and I'd just go around doing that tackle he did in that game. Was it against
Which
Dagger?
one?
The one where he got a red card and he came back and everyone said, "Don't be stupid." And he got a red card again.
Yeah, class.
Would you go as a hand dryer, Harry said?
A hand dryer, maybe. I think it's an easy outfit, isn't it? I could just dress sort of up in white and then just easy, isn't it?
If I was to go as a player and really scare people, it's going to be Aidan Baldwin, isn't it? Aidan Baldwin, and you could be Kyle Cameron. What do you reckon of that? I think that'll work. Yeah, fair enough. Right then, we've briefly chatted about how happy we are and the sort of Alex Bass situation. Injuries. We've got a lot again. Run us through who did we miss from Saturday's game on Tuesday?
I think the biggest injury is probably yours.
What? My wrist.
Yeah, falling off a ladder.
That I told you. It's fine. There is no cast anymore.
Or that other arm.
Absolutely fine. Look, full range of movement in that wrist. How many times can I get away with that? Right,
you only just got away with it the first time you did it.
It's not funny anymore because it actually hurt. I was rolling around on the floor screaming, so you should really think about what you've got to say for yourself because that's absolutely like that water.
You should have done the right thing and recorded it for the channel.
What? Pre-fall?
Yeah, pre and post.
How would I have known?
I don't know. Just you got to preempt these things, don't you? Think on your toes next time. Be on your feet. You know what I mean?
Do you know what happened? I mean, you know the story, don't you? About when I phoned my wife up.
Yeah, but tell it. Yeah, it's a great story.
So I fell off this ladder. I know we're a couple of weeks after. I fell off the ladder. We were moving house all day, and we were going to order a takeaway to finish the day. And she rang me up and she said, "What time should I order it for?" And I said, "I've broken my wrist." I was quite distressed, and she answered back, "Why have you done that?" Which I don't think is an acceptable response for someone. If you broke your wrist and I said to you on the phone, "Why have you done that?" whilst you're in pain, what would you think, George?
I'd be pretty angry if I'm honest.
There we go. Milkman Hero says, answer is clear. Any future DIY has to be streamed.
Yeah.
Tom
actually sends his wife up to the loft now, which is just criminal.
I've actually had the roof removed, so it can't be a loft.
Right. Does it get a bit cold now?
No, not really. No.
Starting, isn't it? Really?
Tim
Matter what they can do these days, isn't it?
tinfoil it over. There we go. Anyway, we're going off topic here, but I want to talk about something that caused a lot of debate, not only on our live stream, in our comments of our live stream, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, is Dan Crowley. Most of the game, Dan Crowley played level with Matty Platt. It's really, really frustrating. And I don't quite know what to make of it. What's your take on the situation?
You know what? I was watching the game and I was getting like, every time I kept seeing him I was just getting like agitated. Like, why are you there? Why are you there? And I'll be honest, I'll hold my hands up. I think some people's reasonings behind thinking the other way around is true. We don't have another midfielder that can do what Dan Crowley can do.
Right.
In that position.
I understand what you're saying. So what? As in what? Start the attacks. Here's my problem with it, right? I agree. And a few people said this to us, that basically he has to do that because he's the only player that can break the line. But here's what I think. Are you getting the best out of Dan Crowley? Yes or no? Think about Dan Crowley against, was it Grimsby?
Grimsby, yeah. I know.
Well,
he was in the shop window there, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah, but you're not getting the best Dan Crowley, are you? Playing him in that position, right? So that's the first thing. Second thing, is it particularly working for us as a team? Not really. So if Dan Crowley's the only player that can play in that position, but it stops Dan Crowley being the player we need him to be, then we've got to change the way we play. Because it's not even working for us. We didn't really create anything. We had to rely on a penalty again.
What, you were happy with the start? What's going on now?
I'm happy with the start. Don't be silly. I'm happy with the start. But I'm just, these comments about Dan Crowley, I don't think he can. He's fine if he's the only player that can play that way. But then what happens if Dan Crowley gets injured? Touch wood, that doesn't happen, or picks up a knock. Then what? Then no one else can do what Dan Crowley does. So we have to change the whole system again. Last year,
yeah, good point. Yeah.
Last year,
the players have to play. Like you can't use him potentially getting injured as a.
Yeah, but if your whole system relies on one player being able to take it from the centre back,
I don't think it does. I just think he's the best option for what we have available to do that. I wouldn't say the system relies on Dan Crowley doing that. Would you?
No, but he picked the ball up every time. Every single time. And I agree. I agree that it doesn't rely on him doing that, right? But he scored 15 goals last season. He scored a goal every 3 games, plus 11 assists. So, we're nearly a third of the way through the season. We're getting on for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games since he scored.
Yeah.
Dan Crowley last season was scoring every 3 games on average. And I know it doesn't work like that. And I know sometimes you get 2 goals. But
do you think it's important for Dan Crowley to score goals though?
When you've lost
if we're still winning games, McGoldrick's got more goals than what he had last season. Do you think it's important for Dan Crowley to score a goal?
How many penalties?
What doesn't matter.
No, I agree. I agree with what you're saying, right? But I wasn't worried about,
because I think that McGoldrick not doing a similar. I suppose he was sort of doing a bit more of a similar thing last season. I think you saw McGoldrick getting back a lot more than what he does this season. He's a bit more attacking this season, I think. So yeah. I think that the roles have reversed a little bit, and you are seeing McGoldrick get in on the attacks a lot more, and you see him score more goals.
Yeah, but right, what I think is, I wasn't concerned about Maka leaving because you've got people like Dan Crowley that can weigh in with that many goals.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm looking right now, right? I think Dan Crowley's a great, unbelievable player. He hasn't scored or assisted in the last 7 games. I've just checked. So he hasn't done. His job isn't to start attacks. Because those Didsy goals, I agree with you as well, right? He's our top scorer, 2 penalties, 2 or 3 absolute worldies as well. Like worldies that aren't going to happen all the time. So, but then you've got what Robbie says here that says Danny's having to do more defensive duties like other players this season. Yeah, you flip it on its head. We've barely conceded compared to last year. We conceded 13 goals, I think. So you've got to weigh it up. I don't know.
I've changed my opinion. I will be honest.
Go on,
it was annoying me, but now you look at the bigger picture. Like I don't think it is actually that much of a problem because we just want Dan Crowley to do what Dan Crowley does when he's attacking and he's making those chances. But I think it becomes effective if you can create something or become a key part of a certain moment, like deeper in the pitch, that then makes it easier for the players further up the pitch. You know what I mean?
So yeah, so maybe not getting the assists, but they call them second assists. I think the player that plays the pass for the assist. I think it comes up as the stats or something silly like that. We'll be getting assists.
It'd be interesting to know how many second assists he has this season.
Yeah, I can't remember I think it is called second. It's something like that. But I mean, that's just a silly stat, isn't it? In my opinion. But I suppose it does. I'm gonna try and have
assists can be a little bit like silly though, can't they? Do you know what I mean?
Say again.
An assist can be a little bit exaggeratory at times, don't you think? You could literally pass it to someone on the halfway line and they just shoot and it scores. They score. Yeah. It's not really an assist, is it?
No, not really at all. You're absolutely bang on there. Bang on. Yeah, but it's a debate, isn't it? I'm just having a quick look at stats. Let's have a look. So pass accuracy is high. Everything's high, really. Boris crossing accuracy. Maybe I'm just not used to seeing him play there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we're all a bit like that, aren't we? Like I was, but like I said, when you look at the bigger picture, it does kind of say like we're third and we're very close to being top. You know, a couple of changes here and there, we should be top really because there's games where we should have won this season. So you can't really get too downhearted by a player that was scoring loads of goals last season, sort of changing his position a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Quickly off topic. Let's have a look. Someone got the anagram. Anagram is Mike Edwards. You're absolutely right, Mike Edwards. Well done for that one. So the next topic is, and someone said here, Stephen said injuries are forcing us to play players that fill in. Got to agree with that as well. Got to agree with that. And look, I'm not being too negative. I thought I've had I'm happy with our start to the season. And I think if we were 2-0 up on Tuesday night, who's going to even comment about Dan Crowley? Let's be honest. I think it was just how bad the performance was. Outstanding player though. So, wing backs now. For me, Cerula was brilliant. Brilliant. He just had no one really to feed off. Martin says Cerula's looking really sharp, went on one incredible run past 5 players. Yeah, that's one where he shot bottom corner. It was saved well by their keeper. What do you make of this wing backs playing on the opposite side?
I'm not sure. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I think we need to be more we need to be fluid with it, don't we?
We definitely do. But I think the problem that we've got is we're so spoilt as to Jody Jones filling in at wing back. We're expecting absolute wonders from the wing backs that we have in at the moment, obviously in sort of Gordon and Cerula.
Yeah,
I think on a whole, on like an average performance, I think they're good players and they do have decent output really. Cerula, especially on Tuesday night against Barrow, I thought he was very, very impressive. It's definitely his best game for North. But we just need to see a bit of consistency with that because I'm not, to be honest, been overly impressed with Cerula up until Barrow. But he has sort of given those sort of average performances, and that's not a bad thing. I think you need those players in your squad, but at the same time, as a wing back playing in the system that Knots do, you need to sort of light the games up a little bit, don't you, at times? So
yeah. My issue is, and this is why the League Two players, let's not forget, and why we're a League Two club. And I think I said it on Tuesday night, but obviously a lot of people might not have been watching. Cerullo has a good game, and Gordon seems to be off it. Gordon has a good game, and whoever's playing wing back the other side seems to be off it.
Whereas, sorry, go on.
Well, just imagine if we had Jody on the pitch against Barrow. You'd have had Jody one side and Cerullo, who they wouldn't have known who to mark, where to overload on what side. It's really, when we play so much down the wings, you can't be having a player on having an off day. I don't think I saw Gordon really take a player on. Chris says Gordon hasn't done well on the left. He has played well on the right at all. I liked Gordon against Mandeville on the left, especially the first half against Chesterfield. But sorry, go on, George.
No, I was just going to go on like a relatively small tangent. You know, you're saying like players are at this level and it's at League Two. I do think that the standard of football in like the last, since I've supported Notts, the standard is definitely improved.
Yeah.
In League Two. Do you know what I mean? Like football as a whole as well. I think everything's so like detailed now, isn't it? I think football's improved a lot, so I think you can sort of get away with less now. I think it just comes down to consistency, doesn't it? Now.
Yeah, 100%. And there's quite a few comments here. Joe's put one about just the work the wing backs are doing to get back, tracking back. Last year, how many times did the centre backs have to split wide to go and cover someone that the man had lost, or Jody on the other side? We are better defensively, much better. Yeah. Look, if we went through the season playing like this and got promoted, you're never going to hear a complaint from me. Never. Last year, I don't care if we scored 4. Some of the games we scored 4, we conceded 5. Like it was, I'd much rather draw the game like we did against Barrow than play amazing, great football, have loads of shots, but we'd be carved open all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's not sustainable, and Barrow's not sustainable because we've done it against Chesterfield, Fleetwood, and Barrow. 3 very, very late goals. That's not sustainable. But you, and I thought we'd done talking about these, but you said a team to me on Tuesday night, didn't you? It's the way Wrexham did it when they got promoted.
Mm.
They didn't look sustainable, and every single time they looked like they were down and out, they would nick a goal or a winner. Now, I don't think we've scored a late winner yet, have we, this season? Not a late. I don't know the last time we scored a late winner. Someone tell me the last time we scored a really late winner. It might have been Maidenhead in the promotion season, but I don't know how late that was. Anyway, there's something about doing what we're doing this season that's good. Like really, really positive. Like last year, we couldn't do that at all. This year we've done it. We nearly won at Tranmere with Cundy getting on the end of something. That would have been an amazing win. Boreham Wood, obviously. Chris said Boreham Wood, playoff semi-final. How did I forget?
How you forgot that? How we both forgot
that? I know, no idea. But the point stands, like, this year, I don't know. We've not played particularly well, but we're third place. I've got Port Vale to win the league. I had Port Vale to win the league before a ball was kicked. Port Vale are going to win the league, in my opinion. They might not win. They might not win the league, but in my opinion, they're the best team in the division. They're playing some really good football. The amount of points they've picked up in the last few games, and with Darren Moore obviously in charge, I'm looking at it now. It's something like 6 wins in 7. It's phenomenal. 5 in 6. They've not lost since August. Just amazing. But then any other spots open, I think. Are you amazed we're in the top 3?
Kind of. I think, to be honest, I still kind of hold where I was. I don't know if I'm convinced yet.
You have said that to me.
Yeah, because we've played we've played a lot of games where we should really have won. Do you know what I mean? And we're playing teams that are, around relegation and stuff like that. Again, you can only beat what's in front of you. But other than, I suppose against Grimsby, we were really dominant, weren't we? But I was about to say, I suppose we've not really had a really dominant performance, have we, yet this season? But that
just Grimsby and Accrington. That's it.
Yeah.
But Do you know what? You looked at, because Carlisle away, I don't care, they're at the bottom. When we played them, they're not long out Mike Williamson in. From Carlisle away, Port Vale, Chesterfield, Wimbledon, and Barrow, all of those are difficult games, right? We've lost one in very, very difficult games. And do you know what is actually linked to the results we're getting is we're stopping other teams getting points. Like, we've stopped Wimbledon getting 3 points. We've stopped Chesterfield gaining 3 points from that game, and we've kept level with them. Barrow, we've stopped them gaining 3 points. You know, Port Vale we did lose to, obviously. That's the only loss in the last, 6 league games. So not only are we picking up these points, we're stopping other teams getting points. And it's very, very tight around the top. Very, very tight. I mean, Barrow and 8th could overtake us at the weekend. They wouldn't because of goal difference, but, you know, there we go. So, yeah, lots and lots to unpick. Good start to the season, in my opinion.
I think not conceding, I think defending and not conceding the way that we have this season is a much better base than what we have had for the last couple of seasons.
Agreed. As well, we've picked up 10 points from losing positions.
Yeah, it's good.
I'd love to know how many we got last season from losing positions. I
think it's more than that. Is it not 11 now? Could be wrong, but I'm sure it's 11.
I'm not sure. I don't have the capacity to do the maths on this Thursday evening. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I don't.
That's fair.
We haven't mentioned it. We have not mentioned it. The giveaway. Now, obviously, the giveaway is not happening this evening because George has to paint all of the mugs himself. But just rest assured, they are in the stages of production. The mugs are. Giveaway, we said at this point last week, we need 14 subscribers to get us to 3,800. If we got 3,800, it will be a giveaway. We needed 14. We got 24. So we smashed it. Went through that barrier on Tuesday night show. So there will be some mugs to give away as a thank you. Notts County Talk mugs. The same design. We might mix it up. Who knows? Jane's getting that one in early. Mug 8. Eight mugs for the giveaway. Most have done 5, but who knows? But yeah, just to let you know that obviously they do take a couple of weeks to be produced. George has to go to Hobbycraft and get some paint. We're not sponsored by Hobbycraft again. Just like I said, we're not sponsored by John Lewis on Tuesday night. But if Hobbycraft wants to sponsor us, feel free. The Pavis
most unrealistic sponsorship ever.
Well, Pavis Perspective is sponsored by Better Bites. Fantastic company. It's all black and white. Could you imagine opening it? It's all black and white, episode 15, sponsored by Hobbycraft. I'd love that. Anyone works at Hobbycraft? There you go.
What would your favourite sponsor be, Tom?
What? Realistic sponsor?
Yeah.
I don't really have to think about that. Probably some local chip shop that can provide us with beans. Maybe.
Good idea.
What would yours be? Heinz, there you go. Callum's always on it.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good question. Realistic. Probably like Nike, maybe.
Chris says Tom could sell the name and rights for his new house. Already have. Sold them to the fracture clinic on the Saturday morning. But you know what? You just brought that memory back to me, Chris. I'd forgotten I'd even broken it. And now I'm in a right state again. Yeah, did you see that? Ian says, did you see that someone stole shirts from the club shop?
Yeah.
It was £1,400 worth, which is 28 shirts, isn't it? 3. I'm
joking. How much are they this season?
Well, let's say they're about 50, aren't they?
Yeah, that's mad.
How does that happen?
How do you even carry 28 shirts?
Yeah, I don't know. Shirts are back in stock tomorrow from 9 o'clock, though, aren't they? For all sizes in the home shirt. You would notice someone walking out with 28 shirts, would you not?
I'd like to think so. That's
Like,
probably why I got caught. And the weird thing about it, right? Let's not go into it. We don't want to. It's a bit of a minefield, isn't it?
Yeah, let's just leave it. But I saw it on Nottingham Post today.
You're a Notts fan. Because if you're a Notts fan, you're doing that. It's not good, is it?
No, who knows?
Sport club.
Harrogate. Easy question for me, and I know your answer. Should we be beating Harrogate on Saturday?
Yeah.
There's no other option, is there?
Yes, times 2.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, there's nothing else to say. We've really got to beat Harrogate. Win your home, draw your away. Let's have a look. So, in terms of Harrogate, I don't feel like we play very well against them. If I'm honest with you, George, I don't have fantastic memories of games against Harrogate. I went to the away game last season and got absolutely embarrassed. Well and truly embarrassed. Playoff final, we always seem to go to mention. I just don't. I mean, where are they sat in the league? Let's have a quick look. They're sat in 16th place, only 8 points behind us because the league's quite tight. They only lost 1-0 to Port Vale. They beat Newport, thrashed by MK 5-1, but beat Bradford. So, interesting side. If we're looking at home form, our home form is actually fairly poor.
It's very poor.
It's really poor. We've got the 12th best in the league. Away form, we've got the second best. Harrogate's away form, 6 points from 6. Chris says we smashed them at the back end of last season. Yeah. But I just never feel like I enjoy games against Harrogate, and I'm not sure why. How do you approach this game? Because I don't really know what we tried to do against Barrow, but we got away with it. We've gone all out early on against a couple of teams and just not got the goal, and then we've had to sit in. I don't know. What do you think?
I think for the first 10 minutes, we just need to make sure we don't concede.
We don't concede that early, though, do
we? You're joking.
Yeah.
Every week. I think it's weird. It's a strange one, isn't it, really? Because I feel like Barrow felt like a low confidence performance, didn't it? Don't you think?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
But we're sat in third. It's strange.
They're the third lowest.
Is it just me, or it doesn't feel like we should be sat in third? You know what I mean? Or is that just me?
I just think the league's everyone's dropping points everywhere already.
Yeah.
Only 3 teams have scored less than Harrogate this season. So they've only scored 11 goals in 13 games. I mean, I just don't really. I'd love a Harrogate fan to come on now and tell me exactly how they're playing or what's going on with them this season, but no one replied to us. So what we'll do is we'll just say we need to beat Harrogate. Callum says wants to be another 1-0. Surely not. I'd like a few more goals, but also going on what George said earlier, a clean sheet would be brilliant. Another clean sheet would be great. Just keep them rocking up. That would be 5 this season if we could keep one. Do I think we will? At home to the fourth lowest scorers in the league, you've got a great chance to do so. So I think so. Right, let's go for lineup then, George. Talk us through your back 5, including the keeper.
Back 5, including the keeper. Obviously, Bass picks himself. He's probably the most important player in the squad, let's be real. And then wing backs, obviously Cerula and Gordon. I play them in the same positions that they played in against Barrow as well. Back 3.
What, inverted?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Back 3, Bedu, Platt, and Macari.
Was you not impressed with McDonald's debut? Well, not debut, but was it his full debut? I thought
it was his league debut. I wouldn't say he blew me away, no, but it's difficult to come in, I think, as a defender and really sort of blow it away, isn't it? But no, I don't think he was terribly bad, but I just he was in for Bedu, wasn't he? And
yeah, I'd agree with you. The exact same back 5 and keeper. That leaves us with 5 players to choose. Right, Jata starts up front.
Yeah.
I can't see Didzy. Couldn't see it on Tuesday. I can't see him starting again.
I think he will.
Do you? Are you going to go for
Yeah.
Didzy then?
I'm going Didzy, yeah.
So what other 3 players do we name? You've got to have Matty Palmer, you've got to have Dan Crowley, you've got to have Abbott for me.
Yeah, I agree.
A couple of weeks ago I said Scott Robertson, but Robbo has not quite been on it. If we don't have either of those 2, I think we're going to find it difficult.
Isn't it crazy that, what was it, a week or 2 ago you were saying that Robertson should be the first name on the team sheet?
Yeah, but that was because it was a derby game. If we'd have played anyone...
That's not backtracking, no.
No, if we'd have played anyone, like just a random, I don't know, Morecambe, I wouldn't have said that. But Robbo's the kind of player I wanted in a derby game.
Fair enough.
So I'm not backtracking. I've less of that cheat, all right? Less of that. Chris Adape Robertson in the Edward draw was playing early in the season to try and win possession back further. The pitch is a great shout. Hartley Hare says we're overplaying Didzy. I agree. Do you know, like, if you watch the game, as we did on Tuesday night, his work, he did so much work. Bar the wing backs, I don't think anyone. Hang on, Callum says make him smaller again. I don't think anyone did. Anyone does much work. Personally,
do you know, genuinely, why has that ever been necessary for someone to do that in a video? You know what I mean? Let me just make the person that I'm in with really, really small and me really, really big.
I couldn't tell you. I honestly couldn't tell you.
Thanks
I
for
could do
that.
this. Well, you know,
thought Callum was all right until then. To be honest, he's let me.
I rate Callum. I do. I rate.
You would.
Class, he says. Class. Right. So there's our lineup. Who are you swapping from my lineup for yours to have Didzy in?
Who did you add in?
I had Abbott, Palmer, and Crowley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then Jackson.
Yeah.
And then Super Sammy Austin.
All right. Yeah, that's it then, isn't it?
I can't count. I've not got 11 fingers.
I was going to say, I thought you just agreed with me with my goal drink.
Oh, we're just chucking, I don't know, Amiobi or someone like that.
Brilliant.
Get him up top. But right, score predictions then. Let's see. David says, big question on Jata. Why does he not wear socks? Does he not?
I think he does, Tom.
He does wear socks, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does wear socks. Right, score prediction then. I'm baffled by that. David, send us a picture in on one of our social medias. Right, score prediction. 3-0 loss.
You think 3-0? That'd be nice. It'd be nice. I see it being a 2-1 knots.
2-1. I think we'll be comfortable. Everyone will get on side. Let's see what we've got. We've got 2-0, 3-1, 3-1, 2-1, 2-0. David says check the highlights about the socks. I'll have a check. We've got 3-0 from Martin, channel member. 3-0, 2-0, a routine 3-0. 4-0. Callum says it's going to be a close game. We'll just squeeze a 6-0. Crowley hat-trick and Chickson recall to another hat-trick. Desmond Tutu. Maybe you've done that every game this season. No, well, but it's happened already this season, hasn't it? We've got a 3-0 Jata, Cerudo and Crowley and 2-0 Jata and Austin. Right. We'll have an It's All Black and White episode out following the game. Also, this Sunday is our next monthly meetup. On Sunday evening at 7:30, chatting to a few other content creators from League Two, get their perspective on how the season's going, their player of the season, player of the month, team of the month, most disappointing team this month, etc. So it's going to be an interesting one. Big weekend ahead in terms of content. Let's hope for 3 points. We said if we turned back here last week with 4 points, it would have been fantastic. 6 would have been incredible. We have got 4 unbeaten across the week, and let's hope for another 3 points to keep us in that top 3. Coming up to an FA Cup break, George, isn't it? There's a break for the FA Cup against Alfreton after this, so should be good. Should be good. Thank you all for watching again, and as always, subscribe to the channel.